Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you press that play button. Like on the way in, it gives me an energetic donation to the channel, helps me tune into you. Flip the roles as you see fit. Take what resonates out of this reading and leave the rest, and let's call in spirit. Let's get this party started, shall we? Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel and protect my beautiful collective. Well, you know what I love about vacations? Everything. You know what I hate about them? That they end. Inevitably, everything comes to an end. But I was able to do this beautiful thing. I was able to make this gorgeous, look at this. I just got to weave in the ends. A trivet. Homemade crochet trivet. And it has a hook. You can put your hot pots on there. Just got to weave in the ends, but this is pretty. And I was able to do something on vacation that I wanted to do. Go to the beach, go for some walks. I hope you're able to do that as well. Get out there in nature, because Gaia is waiting, my friends. So let's do a little Reiki. Let's get this party started. Selenite stick. Down. Excellent. Section. Black obsidian. Excellent. And then we also have our beautiful tourmaline, black tourmaline. Check this space. My beautiful collective. All right, it's early morning, and the lighting is so beautiful. I figured let's do a reading. I know it's a beautiful spiral staircase, isn't it? Let's do my singing bowl just a little bit. Maybe you hear it. Okay, that's enough. All right, so let's see what comes up. We're just going to wing it and fill in the blanks. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, for showing up and showing out. Certainly do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for that. All right, Spirit, what do you have for us? Reliving the past. Somebody is reliving the past. Somebody has a bright future. Future so bright, I gotta wear shades. Staying put. Somebody's staying put. Feeling stuck. Finding direction. Stable situation. Like an anchor. Somebody's being anchored or feels like they're being weighed down, maybe. Trying to find stability in chaos. Yeah, somebody's reliving the past of that future that they could have had. A bright future with somebody. Like, I guess looking at everything that went wrong or right about it, but I feel like they're seeing more of the pros of a situation than the cons. They had a bright future with a person, that's what they were living, but they felt stuck. Hairspray, staying put. They tried to find direction or see if there was a different, like, direction that they needed to go, like their internal compass. They felt weighed down in a situation, so they were looking in different directions, but realizing that this was the stable place that they should have stayed in. Not seeing it at the time, though. It's one of those things where hindsight, right? You look back and you say, oh my God, this was such a roadblock, but really it was a stepping stone. Mm. Making things happen. Somebody is making things happen, or they're realizing that maybe you. So flip the roles. I feel like if I said that or I didn't say it, past, present, or future energies at play always. Flip the roles. Maybe somebody felt like now, after the fact, that you were that stable person, that you were their anchor, instead of you weighing them down in a situation, that you actually kept them stable. Maybe now they feel like everything's chaos, that you were making things happen, or that they're watching you from a distance and you're making things happen in your life. You're stable. And they're reliving the past when you were with them, making their life better. Maybe they didn't see that at the time, right? Yeah, maybe they feel like they're a bump on a log. They're just doing nothing, disinterested, just being lazy. Well, they don't see, they see you as like a mover and a shaker, somebody that's following your dreams. Yeah, you were their dream, and they didn't see the gift in you. They saw the weight of the responsibility of being with you. Maybe you were married to this person, committed to this person. They couldn't see the gift that you were to them. All they saw was the weight of it, the heaviness, the anchor, feeling like there's got to be more to life than this, even though they had everything they could have wanted. Yeah, they didn't see the warning signs of the direction they were going. Yeah, they felt like, I'm the captain of my ship. I should steer this in the direction I want to, not the direction that you, or if you're the cross watcher, whoever it is that's watching, okay, how you do it. You felt like, I want to be in control of my life, and I feel weighed down and heavy in this situation, and I feel like for somebody, they're reliving the past of when you were a gift to them. And if it was you that was being weighed down by a person, you're realizing that there was better out there, that you were being blocked by a person when you had so much more potential. And maybe you didn't see the warning signs, but they were clearly there. So if you were the one that had all of this prosperity or bright future, now you're seeing how you were weighed down by a person. If you were the person weighing down this other person, you felt you were the one that was being weighed down. And really, you were the one that was the roadblock to this person's like happy future. They stayed with you, they committed themselves to you, and you did everything you could to keep them with you. And then you blamed them when your life wasn't going in the right direction because you were not stable. You weren't contributing to this, if I'm going to use the analogy of a ship, this ship going in the right direction. So, and you didn't take the warning that, then you decided, all right, so you decided, if you're the person that was the problem, you decided to jump ship and try to to go in a different direction, swim in a different direction. And this person took the ship and ran with it. And, you know, let's go with that analogy all the way, okay? They decided to run the ship the way they wanted to, the captain of their destiny. They steered the ship into success, and you are still like bobbing in the water when in no direction, wondering where the hell to go next. Where's land? Yeah. And you're watching this, you're seeing this person find their success without you. Come to Jesus, being truthful, communication, a divine intervention, surrendering, and reconciliation. I feel like somebody found God, and somebody needs to find God. That's the whole point, the premise of this. come to Jesus. You surrendered if you're the person that was being weighed down by a person for many years. If you're looking back, I think in both cases, both people are looking back. Okay, you and your person, you're both reliving or I don't know how to describe it, but you're reliving the past. Okay, and one of you thought that this was not going to work out. One of you thought that this was weighing them down. It wasn't helping them. I feel like you both mirrored that after a certain point. You're getting the point, seeing the writing on the wall. This isn't going to work out because this person doesn't see my value. For the person who took over the ship, for the other person, they felt like it's not going to work out because there's better out there. And both of you need to come to a surrendering point, a dark night of the soul, a recognition. I feel like you did it first, whoever this person is, that took the reins of the ship and found prosperity. You realized this wasn't going to work out because this person didn't see your value, that there was no real direction that they were going in, and that, I mean, they hurt you. I feel like they ghosted you or they left you. They left you high and dry. They jumped ship. And for you, if you're the one that jumped ship, you're realizing that you made a huge mistake, that this person was a guiding light in your life, a stability, the anchor that kept you from floating off into Never Never Land. And I feel like for a long time, you were in Never Never Land thinking that there was so much better out there when this person was the gift. This person was the gift from the universe. Now you're having a dark night of the soul. And you're surrendering to the darkness right now. You're surrendering to the demons. There's going to come a time when you're going to reach out to God. You're looking at this as this person put you in this place of darkness, left you high and dry, when really you left them high and dry a long time ago. You looked at this situation as an albatross, a weight around your neck, an anvil, whatever the hell it's called, and you decided to leave. You looked for better. And maybe you were in a relationship the whole time looking for better, when this was the best you were going to get. Now, I'm not saying that you can't find happiness in this life. I would never try to do that, say that out loud. And, like when you do those things, it's like you're never going to find anybody and you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. That's terrible, because that's a projection. That's like a prediction of trying to want somebody to be miserable. I mean, you can actually create that in a person's life. I'm an energy reader. I'm not a person that's trying to hurt or harm at all. I'm not saying you can't find happiness in life. Obviously, you can't. You are the captain of your ship. You are the, what is it, creator of your journey. The the writer in your journey. You're the author. Thank you, Spirit. Finally, the word pulled out of my butt. So if you want a different outcome in your life, you have to manifest that. You have to work towards it. But you will never have another chance with this person, this earth angel. That's what I'm saying. This was a gift that will never be given again. It was one of those things where I always say it's funny because it's like not funny and not laughing at you at all. Sad, really. Sad that this happened. That you couldn't see it. But it's a learning experience. God gives us tests because we need these tests to sharpen us. God gave you a gift to see if you could handle it. To see if you could handle an earth angel, a person that was a stable force in your life, somebody that brought blessings, a bright future. You had toxic ways, and you couldn't see the gift in front of you, A lot of people can't. It's like I always say about this, like a Price is Right or games shows like that. There was one with the I don't know. I feel like it's another game show too where they had the oh my God, what's it called? Spirit briefcases. Yeah, it's like, do you want door number one or door number two? And then you pick door number one, and they say, okay, and the price is right in that instance. And then they say, oh yeah, well, okay, that if you want that door, you can have that door, or you can have this cash. You got a choice. And the person's like, well, if I get the cash and the door is better, then I'm gonna go for the door. They're back and forth, and then they pick, all right, I'll get the door instead of the cash, and it's a booby prize. It's like a chance you take. And this, like the briefcases, you could have $1 million in the briefcase, or you can take the banker's money that they're going to offer you. Now, these briefcases, like they have, I don't even know how many briefcases they had. Say they have 50 briefcases, and you have a briefcase in your hand. Start out with a briefcase, obviously. Do you think the $1 million is in that briefcase? And then you're like, all right, I'll pick number 50 to see if that, then there's a bunch of people holding other briefcases. And then you're like, all right, well, then that wasn't 50. Okay, 50 was $1. Okay. So I might have a chance of this $1 million. And then you go back and forth. But the banker, in the meantime, as you're rising and the numbers are going in your favor, you get a chance with the banker. All right, we're going to give you, instead of the $1 million, I'll give you $100,000. Take it or leave it. And you say, I'm going to leave it because I think I have that $1 million in this briefcase. These are game shows. And finally, you refuse everything the banker says, and you say, all right, I'll get the briefcase. And the briefcase says $20. That's what you leave with. It's like that type of mentality. I think there's better. I think there's better. I can go. You keep going until you have nothing left. You keep trying this and trying that. In your mind, you thought there was better. You kept trying for different people, even when you were in a commitment with this person. But this was the best you were going to get. You might, of course, obviously, there's opportunities for happiness in life, but it'll never be that stable force, that happy situation, that blessing. It won't be the same. And I'm not wishing that bad on you. I just see it. They were the gift, and you kept trying for more. You are the writer in your own story. So if you want a better situation than you have now, which clearly you're hurting, and you need to co-create that and work towards it. It's not enough to say, please give me a better life. You have to work towards it. You have to be able to be shown the universe that you want a better life, not just words. Covering up or coming out. So I feel like you're covering up the hurt, you're covering up, acting like everything's fine, when really you're broken inside. You're broken that this person's gone, but you're acting like, I didn't need them anyways. You did need them. That's why they were sent. They were sent to be a gift in your life. I feel like you never apologized, and you should have. And they should have apologized to you if you're the person they did this to. You were their gift. But some people, like I said, they're very toxic. Maybe they have opportunities. People throw themselves, or they actively are charming and seek out attention. Inevitably, they run out of opportunities. They run out of these chances. Yeah. Love. You love this person. You didn't know how to show it in the proper way. Or if it was you, they loved you. But they never told you that. They never communicated. Maybe they said it, I love you. Then they burned you. They hurt you. They're covering it up, though. They're acting like everything's great. But you know that they're hurting. This is sad. It's sad to not see the truth for what it is. To live in a fantasy world here. Changing your tune, it's saying, but right now it's in the reverse. They don't want to admit it right now. They don't want to admit that they screwed up with you. They just don't. They felt like they needed to jump ship because you were an anchor. But an anchor is a good thing. It steers or keeps the chaos from getting out of control. You were that person. You controlled the chaos in this person's mind. Your energy helped this person to calm down. They didn't see that. Protection in the reverse. They're not protected anymore. Your energy protected them. Your energy stabilized them. Process your feelings. So this person is going to have to do what you did. Process the feelings. You had to go through that dark night. You had to reach out to God. You had to surrender to this person's decisions, but also to the universe and what was going to happen next. You had to take control of your life. Good for you. Through this heartache, through this pain. And focus. Keep your eye on the prize. And focus and go alone. Go it alone. But spirits encouraging you, stay in your integrity. Stay in your integrity. Because that's going to work out for you. Last one is go for it. Whatever dreams that you have, go for it. The universe is backing you. While this other person at the bottom of the deck says do nothing. They're doing nothing right now. Because they are going to be forced to recognize the gift that you were. Spirit is not going to allow them to dismiss you and act like nothing happened. You were the gift. And Spirit is going to show that to them through dreams, through their stuck life, through reality checks. Like their life is never going to be as great as it was when you were in it. And that's not a curse. That's just reality because of the choices that this person made. You were the greatest thing that ever happened to them. Now, are they going to have great things happen to them in life? Sure. If they work towards that and if they manifest that and if they do good, sure, why not? They're not going to stay stuck for the rest of their life. That would be unfair, right? That would just show that God's, what did the devil want them to say? Power hungry, controlling, basically projecting the devil's personality onto God, making people hate God. That's what he wants. 22 on the clock. But that's not what God is. God is a loving God. God is a just God. God balances the scales. This person screwed you over. And they have to recognize that and sit with that. They can't go around doing that to people. Especially not somebody that they bless like you. 5 of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. There's a grief. There's a loss. You're feeling it. They're feeling it. But they're acting like nothing's going on. Knight of Wands, this person could be. Bold, determined, passionate, high energy at times, courage. But right now they're sitting. They're sitting in their choices. Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. This is a person that quickly makes decisions, quickly turns the tide, quickly does things without thinking. And now they're sitting in the consequence. Because this isn't just anybody they screwed over. This is you. This is somebody that Spirit blessed. This is somebody that Spirit's backing. You don't screw a gift. Screw over a gift and think it's going to be okay. But it's not. 9 of Swords. This person's anxious. This person's worried. This person's thinking about you. They're having nightmares. They can't sleep at night because they realize they threw away something really wonderful and they're watching you succeed without them. You're having opportunities. Ace of Pentacles keeps coming out. You're going for your dreams. You're being blessed by the universe. So in other words, it wasn't you that was the problem. Your stability still is going on and actually adding to, while they're staying stuck in toxic situations with no happiness at the end of the rainbow. There was no other place to go. You were the anchor. You were their island. You were their oasis. Without your energy, without your encouragement, they're like a ship without a sail. There's no wind in there. There's no more energy. It's like they're defeated. They feel tired. They feel like a victim. They feel like you are the problem. You screwed them over. You left and took everything with you. It wasn't you taking everything, the physical stuff. It was you taking away your protection, your energy. Now this person's got to sit with the consequences, finally, of their actions. Maybe they've been coddled their whole life. Who knows? They have this inner feeling of, maybe the outer feeling of superiority, the inner feeling of feeling like shit. Now they're bemoaning and feeling like a victim, but they created this reality. There's nobody to blame but themselves. And this is what Spirit's saying. You threw away a gift. You broke this gift into pieces. You tore this gift up as if it didn't even matter when this was what we gave you, man. So they're realizing that. Ace of Wands. Yep. You're having new beginnings. You're growing. You could be traveling. You could be doing things. This was traditional Hierophant. But you're also learning different things too. And they're learning different things in watching you. Maybe they're asking advice around, praying to God. And God is answering them through these dreams. But it's nightmares. It's a nightmare to them because the chariot's moving. Maybe they're seeing this over and over again the last time they saw you walking out. Or maybe you have to deal with this person on some level. You have children, but all they see is you leaving every day. It's like a nightmare to this person. Instead of staying, you go. Have a nice day. You go. You have conversations with them, but it's nothing, anything in depth anymore. That's an enlightenment. The sun is shining. The sun is shining. The sun is illuminating this situation. You were never the problem. It was them. And now they're seeking counsel from God. They're praying to God and they're getting their answer, but they're not liking it. They're not liking it. They're looking at other people or trying to find you in somebody else, and they're never going to find you again. Not that gift. They could find happiness, sure. Of course. Nobody's wishing them terrible. I'm sure you're not wishing them terrible, wishing them no happiness. I wouldn't do that. That was me. I would wish this person love and light and happiness. Because why would I want that to be stuck on me? If I wished bad on my ex-person, then what does that say about me? And I feel like I did the song yesterday, but it feels like to me, they're just like, crying in the rain. They're just like screaming out loud in the middle of the street. What about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough now. I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live. But you take more than you give. It's like they felt like you were the problem. They felt like this is unfair. I want more in life. I feel stuck. And then Spirit's like, okay, let's look back at the conversation where everything changed, where you decided to stay stuck, where you decided that this person was going to do everything and you were going to sit there and take. Yep. The fool. They feel like the fool. Yep. They're realizing it. There's a transition here. There's a letting go. Self-discovery. Two of Pentacles. They're going to understand that juggling, through stress, I feel like you asked them to step up and they refused. They made you 28 on the clock, the person that had to do everything. Now they're having to do everything and realizing all that you did. They have so much responsibility. And then they have this Queen of Cups, maybe that they're entertaining, but it's in the reverse. Cup, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Somebody that is unstable, a manipulator, moody, and misguided intuition. Maybe they look to this person as a friend with benefits, and this person gave them the bad advice. Oh boy. They're gonna learn who to trust and who not to trust. They're trusting the wrong people is what it's saying. And their life is like in limbo. Hangman is here. Yeah, okay. That's in life we have chances and we have choices. They chose the wrong people to trust and the wrong people to walk towards instead of you. Justice is here. You're going to have your justice. They're going to have to sit in this and realize who the problem was, and it wasn't you. They can deny all they want, act like nothing's going on, everything's great, but they know it's a shit show over there. They know it. Because you were the anchor. And the anchor pulled up and sailed out. Okay. It's hard lessons in life. We all have choices, free wills at play. And they took their free will and they walked away from you. They jumped ship is what I'm hearing. That's how it's being shown to me. Yeah, they thought it was going in the wrong direction, and they chose to go in their direction they felt was more advantageous, and it wasn't. Okay. Psalms 86:4, bring joy to your servant, Lord, for I put my trust in you. And I feel like that's what they're doing. They're praying to God, please take this burden from me. Please take this pain away from me. And Spirit's like, you're going to sit in it. You have to sit in it. That's the justice. That's the cause and the effect. And when they going through the dark night right now, they're going to come out a better version of themselves, hopefully. Keep praying if you're the person. Keep working towards that. And really recognize that this was a gift from the universe. You're in hermit state right now, but you're going to get your strength back. For every valley, there's peaks. So you're going to come out of this. But realize that this opportunity was a once in a lifetime. And that's not to make you feel bad about a situation or make you beat yourself up about it, but it's reality, it's the truth. You cannot treat a gift with careless disregard and think that nothing's going to happen at the end. Karma is a real thing. You're learning that now. But you can steer your own ship towards prosperity. You have to, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be the hard work that it took your person, the person that you walked away from, that had to go through that. You're going through that now. But know that there are better days ahead. Keep working towards that. Keep praying. And keep trying to be a better version of yourself each and every day. That's my advice. Thank you for joining me on Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe because I love to have you. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.